What's going on out there, YouTube family? This is Sammy Legger here representing Team JVS. I'm back here again for another review. As I've told you, I'm doing a lot of reviews and I'm trying to get them out to you guys before the end of the year. And this is another one that I've been putting off for a very long time. And I will tell you why. And I will tell you why I'm going to review this in a very different, specific way. And I'm talking about West Side Story, directed by Steven Spielberg. This is the third iteration of West Side Story. This was written by, I'm not even going to all that. I'm going to the stars. Ansel, Rachel Zegler, Ariana DeBose. Man, I want to make sure I have some names up in this because it's really important. Rita Moreno. Who else? Brian DeRacy, James. David Lorenz. Who else? I want to make sure I get everybody that I feel like. Oh yeah, I got to talk about Mike Faist as Riff. There's so many talented actors and actresses in this film that, I mean, their performances and their delivery of what the characters are on paper, I think is almost perfect. The directing by Steven Spielberg, I think that he makes this so vibrant that it feels timeless and classic, even though this is technically already that. The choreography and the spotting and the scenery. And this is crazy coming off of like something where Tick Tick Boom is a thing and Into the Heights. And I mean, there's been some amazing musicals this year. But the way that they were able to handle choreography and placing and blocking and scenery and setting and even like the location design for New York and the certain era piece, the costume design. I think that the standouts for sure for me were Ariana DeBose as Anita, Rita Moreno as Valentina, and Mike Faist as Riff. I think that Riff as a character is so... I don't like him as a character, but I think the delivery by Mike is amazing. Like, I think that he's doing such an amazing job from the singing, from the choreography, from the emotion, the rawness of it. Ariana DeBose, I think personally she should be nominated for Best Supporting Actor. Between her and Kathleen from Tragic Macbeth, I think that they are the best supporting. They are the best of the best of Best Supporting Actresses this year in cinema. I think Ansel Elgort, I'm not going to go into the politics of all that because that's a whole nother thing, but I think that he does an amazing job as Tony from what he's given. And I think that Rachel Zegler does an amazing, like her voice, her range. Oh my gosh, this girl can belt. She can sing like nobody's business. David Lorenz as Bernardo, man, he irradiates that this man is a star. I don't know. Some people, like, you can just kind of tell just by looking at him, like there are things coming for this man. I'm not sure what it is, but the way that he was able to stand and even like his chemistry with Ariana, I think that he was definitely a standout with this. And I think Rita Moreno as Valentina, like, she's such a beautiful soul, and the way that she presented the character, I think that it definitely stands out. Andrés Rivera as Chino, I think that he did a good job for what he was given, but this is where I start to have issue, and I'm not going to downgrade the film, but I'm also not gonna comment on it. There are things about the actual story of West Side Story that I just don't get behind, and I'm not culturally adept to comment on it one way, left or right, if that makes sense to you guys. What I wanted to do, and I'm very serious, I've talked to a couple of different critics that are Latino that I wanted to probe and bring into conversation with this review with me so I can get a gauge, because I've heard certain people say, well, no, this is not representing us. This is not what I like. Then I've heard some people like, wow, at least this is so much better than what was before, but then a lot of the same, but I'm okay with it because I've accepted it. from a cultural standpoint, I don't want to go into the comment. I'm just going to go off of what I've seen. You know what I'm saying? I want to go just as a critic, not going into details with it. But I will say, as a critic, the story in and of itself is definitely, is really just a regurgitation of, you know, Shakespeare or Romeo and Juliet. But in a modern day sense. But the things about this that I have issue with is certain character moments that just don't add up. And again, a part of it is from a cultural standpoint. I don't want to comment on it, but the character Tony, like, I don't know whether I'm supposed to hate Tony or like Tony. I really don't. I really don't. Bernardo, same thing. I don't know if I'm supposed to hate him or like him. Maria, Maria is the main character, but I'm bound to Anita because I understand Anita more than I do Maria. You know, like there's certain things that happens with Anita in the third act, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like, and Ariana just nails it. And I know I'm being very vague, but if you've seen the movie, you understand what I'm saying. But this is a non-spoiler review, so I'm trying to talk around, and this is hard to talk around. Even Valentina, I was like, I want to know more about her. I want to know what's this connection here. Like, I got a little bit here, and I got an understanding why she's got a connection with Tony, but I don't have enough to gauge the reality of this situation, like realistically, like what is really happening. Because there's an altercation that happens with Maria and Anita that honestly, if I was Anita, I would say, nope, I don't care what you do. I was so upset during that moment, and I don't want to talk about what it was if you hadn't seen the movie. But if you haven't seen the movie, you understand what I'm saying. But I think that the story in and of itself, I feel like maybe possibly flawed, but I think the delivery and execution of taking something that was and making it the best way you possibly can by still maintaining it without changing anything, which changing a few things, but not enough, is maybe the real track of this and trying to comprehend it and trying to talk to you guys about it. Honestly, I think that's the hurdle that I'm having right now. Because I think that structurally, as a musical, as a film, it's amazing. Like, it really is one of the best, well put together films, well directed, well choreographed. Music is amazing. The acting is really good, if not two of the best performances this year. And yet, the story foundationally and the screenplay itself may be the real structural issue. But can I say that I don't like the screenplay if they kept the same exact story baseline? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like if they did The Wizard of Oz, and I didn't like The Wizard of Oz then, and they do The Wizard of Oz now, which they technically did with James Franco, which they completely changed it. But imagine if they kept it exactly the same, but then they like just made it look modern. Would I still say that this is bad? Like, I don't know. I don't know how to really gauge it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna rate this. This is the first for me. I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna say A, B, C, D, or F, and I will rest this at a B. I think that as a film, structurally, as a musical, this is one of the best musicals this year. Is it the best? No. I would put I would put the music in Vivo by Lin-Manuel Miranda and what he was able to do in Vivo over the music in this. But that's not to say that everything else about this as a musical isn't great. And even in Into the Heights, choreograph-wise, probably has better choreography than West Side Story. But structurally, as a film and set design, what they're able to do in this, it's far be it for me to knock it down. So I would rest this at a B to B+. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. I will revisit this when I have, again, another critic that culturally I can probe and question and talk to and articulate my thoughts, because I do have certain issue, but I feel like it's not my liberty to go into those reasonings or the whys, okay? Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. I got one more review coming. Peace, guys.